All right, good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Best Daily Bets channel. I'm your host, Sportsman D, and let's go ahead and get into it. Yesterday was lame. Our return to college football, and I take the only favorite to not even come close to cashing. SMU's defense looked terrible, but they've got an offense that's really good, and they'll be able to score. So it'll be an interesting team to watch going forward, especially on the over side. But yeah, disappointing game there, and very disappointing that the Flyers could not even score one goal to touch our over, losing 4-0. Very, very shocking. They did not look good at all. The Islanders' defense just clamped down, and we should have taken the Islanders. Barry Trotz is a fantastic coach. They're going to be really interesting to see in the Eastern Conference Finals. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get into it here, guys. First game is going to be the over in the first quarter for the Bucks against the Heat. The over in the first quarter is currently sitting at 55.5. Why are we taking this? Well, I'm not sure what's going to happen in this game. This is a really interesting series. Nobody predicted 3-0 Miami. Even the most ardent Miami fans were not going to say that you'd be in the position to sweep the Bucks right now. I don't think anybody could have predicted that. So the over and unders have been really close. I think they've hit it once. So I don't know if I want to take the under. The Bucks are due for a win, but Jimmy Buckets is absolutely strangling them in the fourth quarter. So I don't want to take that bet. It's kind of a crazy thing. But let's take a look at something that is cashing, and that's the over in the first quarter every single game. So 59 points in game 3. Game 2 was 67 points. And game 1 was 69 points. All right? So I think that this game's going to come out, or this Milwaukee team's going to come out gunning. I think they probably score something like 40 points in this first quarter, and then slowly the boa constrictor that is Jimmy Buckets just squeezes them out. But even still, again, I do think that this over in the first quarter is going to hit. Not only, forget about Milwaukee for a second. Forget about Miami's defense. Milwaukee's defense has been horrible. So they're going to give up points. Again, 55.5 points. Take the over in the first quarter. This thing's going to cash. All right, we're going to move it over to baseball for a second. And we're taking the over of 5.5 of the White Sox. Why? Because they're facing Matt Harvey, and Matt Harvey's just terrible. Kind of feel bad for him. I did like Matt Harvey when he was on the Mets, and he was starting out. He was a good pitcher. He's terrible now. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at Matt Harvey and what he's done recently. So I think he just pitched against. I guess he just pitched against the White Sox for. He gave up 2 hits in 2/3 of an inning. So. Whatever there. But look at that. Inning and a third gave up 5 runs. 2 2/3 inning gave up 4 runs. So it's like he's gotten progressively worse here. In fact, that's exactly what he's done. So 1 less inning pitched and 1 more run given up each game consecutively. So they only had him in 2/3 of an inning, and he gave up 2 hits against the White Sox. This does not look good for my man here. If we go back and take a look at the careers against Harvey, so, not terribly impressive, but they're kind of limited. Grandal's got 9 at-bats against him, but this White Sox team is just red hot. They are really, really good, and I really like them. So, go ahead and back the 5.5 run line the 5.5 over-under on the runs for the White Sox. This one also is gonna cash, baby. All right. Moving over to soccer. So our last 3 picks are going to be in the MLS here, guys. I really am doing pretty solid in the MLS. So UEFA Nations League, maybe not so much, but the MLS, absolutely. So we won our Houston pick yesterday. And I've just been really solid with MLS and with soccer in general. Again, apart from the UEFA Nation Leagues, in which I am 0-3. All right. Kind of adding to our negative totals here for the week. So that turns around today because we've got a few MLS picks. They're golden. This one here, we're taking the under of 2.5 between the Crew and Cincinnati. These teams just played to a scoreless draw. Columbus has got really intense defense. Look at down here. They have played 9 games. They've given up 3 goals. 9 games for 3 goals. They've only scored 14 goals in 9 games. So we're talking about through 9 games, they're barely averaging 2 goals. And I've got them at 2.5 for the under. Pfft, I'll take it. Cincinnati hasn't scored the last 2 games running. Excuse me, the last 4 games running. My sincerest of apologies. So we have a team that really likes to lock down other teams, and we have another team that can't score. Give me the under all day, every single day. Under of 2.5, book it. Crew versus Cincinnati. We're moving over to the Sounders versus the Timbers. And we're taking the over here, guys. Whoops. Taking the over. And it's not hard to see why. The over's 3. These teams have not gone under in the last 5 games. Additionally, against each other, they have not gone under the last 5 games. Now, here's the deal. They haven't they haven't eclipsed the over of 3. So it's kind of an interesting pick. However, the last game, August 23rd, Sounders scored 3. Portland scored nothing. Portland's done significantly better since then, although they had a tough loss against the Galaxy. They drew against Salt Lake. But I think that this is going to be a 2-2 or 2-3 game. I think this is a really high-scoring game, guys. Back the over of 3 for sure. If you're not comfortable with that and you want to take the Sounders because they have not scored less than 2 in any game except LAFC, then take the Sounders over 1.5. I think that's priced moderately at 110, minus 110. So you could take that too, but I'm taking the over of 3. You never know what's going to happen. Portland is due for a win in the series. Speaking of freeway series, let's take the over of 1.5 for the Galaxy here, guys, against LAFC. Why? Why are we doing this? Well, for one, the Galaxy have not scored less than 2 goals the last 3 games, including a 2-0 win against LAFC. They have been red hot, scoring 3 goals the last 2 games against another game where they're not. I don't think they beat the Portland Timbers in however many games. I mean, they really were in a slump against the Timbers. Additionally, LA Galaxy, the last 5 games, has not scored less than 2 goals against LAFC in the last 5 games. So just feel real comfortable back in this one. Take the over of 1.5 for the Galaxy. Now, added to this, it's not showing me the right league here, or the light conference, so let's scroll down. Through 8 games, LAFC is giving up 16 goals. They're going to give up the 2 goals here, guys. Book it, lock it in, let's go. All right, let's go ahead and round this thing out to bring it home. We've got the over of 55.5 in the first quarter for the Heat against the Bucks. We have the under of 2.5 for the under of 2.5 Columbus Crew versus Cincinnati FC. We have the over of 5.5 runs in the White Sox game against the Royals. Over 5.5 runs for the White Sox period against the Royals. Excuse me. We have the over of 3 in the Seattle Sounders and Portland Timbers game, and the over of 1.5 goals for the LA Galaxy against LAFC. Get those picks in, guys. Good luck, and let's win some money today. We are on a comeback day today. Good luck, and we'll see you here around this time tomorrow for another slate of the best daily bets.